Dillon was so excited to get in there, he almost ran past the referee to check him out. You can tell he wants to get in there and just get this going.
Coming into tonight's fight with a record of 3-0, a wrestler standing 5'9", 130 pounds, out of Pura Vida, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and MMA, from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Tyus White Mamba White.
See the White Mamba? Did I hear that correctly?
I don't know.
And fighting out of the Nebraska Lottery red corner, with a record of 2-2, standing 5'10". Fighting out of the Skywalker 101 gym, from Atlantic, Iowa, Dillon, the Dominator Cox.
Dillon's displaying a USA Wrestling tattoo, and to back that up, he does have a very impressive wrestling pedigree, so wouldn't be surprised if we see this go to the ground or at least attempt to at some point. Very quick leg kick out of the gate by Dillon Cox.
Hey, Dillon's
Dillon's like a TJ Dillashaw high-low high.
Yeah. Dillon's coach, Danny Molina, calling for Dillon to stay funky.
Yeah.
I like that.
And I think he's doing just that.
Yeah, his angles are awesome. He's never in front of his opponent.
And he is mixing it up. I like the high-low, and he's kind of always threatening the shot. He's kind of leans in before he backs out of the pocket.
He's doing what I wish Isaiah Robinson would have done in his last fight. He's throwing little 1-2s and finishing with a leg kick.
But you are starting to see the big gap that we jump from the pro or amateur to pro level.
Totally.
These guys should have worked out a lot of holes in their game in their amateur career, and now they are ready to put their record that never goes away once you go pro. Good counter. Good
Flipped
counter.
the script there. White whizzing hard and ended up getting the better of that grappling exchange.
But now Dillon's got him on the fence.
Yep.
It's a good back and forth.
Yeah, I knew this was going to be a barn burner, man. Both these guys are really talented. Oh, nice little hip throw. Great work by White. The cage kind of blocked it. Now Dillon working maybe to take his back, but White working that whizzer hard with his left arm. Dillon needs to sweep the other way. He needs to get behind White and sit, and he'll fall right down.
Now he's kind of more squared up with him on the cage. Once again, I'd really like to see him use his forehead kind of as like a leverage to kind of stretch him out on the cage. Cox kind of looking relaxed in the clinch, though, kind of finding his groove, kind of putting the pressure on Tyus.
Ooh, White with the duck under, back take attempt.
Raining down a little bit of ground and pound with a
nice
trip.
work by White. Beautiful trip.
You got to be careful if he gets that. I know that's common in wrestling, but you don't want to get that arm trapped and kind of get yourself in a crucifix position.
White looking to maybe attack the neck here.
Now White putting the pressure on him.
Dillon Cox working his butterfly hooks to try to offset the balance of White. I don't know why he did that. He's going to let him pass.
I'm playing a hope and half guard here. Kind of setting up a triangle here.
Oh.
White slips out, saw it coming.
Yes. Slippery. The sweat is starting to play a role. White passes Cox's guard into side control.
I have to say White is showing a very impressive display of, defense and not kind of getting caught in these throws or takedowns by a high-level wrestler.
I agree.
Even a submission attempt.
Dillon Cox retains his guard. That was very impressive. Both fighters settling into the fight, starting to relax.
And with 30 seconds left, this is probably a good time for Dillon to not expel a lot of energy here. Don't take damage.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, if he sees a submission opening, take it, but...
Yeah.
Or an opportunity to get right up. But
yeah. It seemed like he kind of came out a little heavier, slowed down a little bit, and then Tyus kind of turned it back up. But we'll see what happens when they go into the second round here. Some high-level position changes, though, and grappling displayed by both men in that round.
Yeah, I agree. Close round, but I think Tyus might come out on top there.
I would have to agree. Still anyone's fight, though. We got a lot of fight left.
Round 2.
All right, round 2, here we go. Tyus in the blue gloves and Dillon Cox in the red gloves.
Now, Dillon did have some success early on with his striking, but when Tyus closed the distance and started returning the favor, he shot immediately. So I'm wondering if maybe he tries to find the algorithm to crack the code of, to keep it on the feet and pick them apart striking.
Yeah, Tyus seems to have the same pace from the start, where Dillon's pace was probably a little unsustainable, and so now they're kind of fighting at like an even pace right now. They're kind of settled in.
Tyus keeping a jab in his face. Ooh, nice shot.
That was a very good setup to a shot. But Dillon Cox showing excellent takedown defense here.
Oh, big elbow! Big elbow by Tyus White. Another one.
Dillon counters with a knee.
Wow.
Dillon looked like he was almost ready to give up there, and Tyus going to turn it up, but he really recovered through a knee of his own.
And here he is looking to take the back.
Yeah, maybe it stunned him for a little bit, but he's able to recover. Dillon's corner calling for head pressure. He's got to be careful.
He's a little high.
He's got to be careful. He could get bucked off here.
Yeah. Some great wrestling on display tonight by both people.
This is an absolute chess match for combat wrestling.
Big elbows by Dillon.
Yeah. Tyus got to be careful here. Not in a bad spot, but you don't want to sit there and take elbows like that either.
Wow, look at that. Pulled the legs out.
Now Tyus on top, got his hips. Dillon's corner calling for him to stand up, get it back to his feet.
We got a great back and forth fight on our hands. Wow,
Tyus
very
takes
nice.
his back.
Tyus with the duck under right to the back take. Let's see what he can do here.
Tyus has some very smooth transitions.
Yeah.
Dillon stands back up. Tyus wrapping that leg up. Let's see what he's going to do with it.
Good job, Cox. You know, obtaining wrist control.
They separate. Dillon's back is still to the cage.
Nice uppercut by Cox.
All right, he gets himself off the cage. I think that was a wise move on his part. Dillon's corner calling for him to take the center and put the pressure on.
Yeah.
Kind of came in a little wild, and Tyus timed it with a good body lock trip. Almost got countered and ended up on bottom, but recovered quite well. Kind of in an awkward scramble here now.
Tyus looking to get that other hook in.
About to say he could take his back here, but
Yep.
Dillon's going to want to scrape him off with the cage and not give up that other hook.
There it is. Settling into the back take. He's going to want to get Dillon off his hip.
Doesn't have a lot of time, but he does have time to actually lock up and finish a rear naked choke.
He does. He's got to get Dillon off his hip, though. Dillon's got some leverage and some power in this position.
I think Dillon's experience and knows well that he might be best off just kind of surviving the round here and not giving up a choke or any significant damage and sitting on that hip as he is. We're going to see a third round.
Oh,
Maybe not. It's going to be close.
not quite enough time.
Yeah. He was under the chin there, though.
He was.
Maybe didn't have him stretched out as much as he should have, but if he had more time, that could have been deadly.
We got a real back and forth fight here, but I mean, I'm really impressed with Tyus White. He's getting the better of all these wrestling scrambles.
Yeah. And he's staying very composed.
And he's finishing every round on top.
Yeah.
So that's not a good place to be if the commentators are saying you should just ride the last 30 seconds.
Don't forget our after hours party at
Both
Club
rounds.
Omaha.
So
later on tonight, just north of 120th and Center, Club Omaha. Round 3.
You know, I'm noticing a pattern too where Dillon starts this round very strong at the beginning of the match, where Tyus kind of keeps a steady pace.
Yeah.
I mean, throughout this entire fight, it keeps us calm and just waits for an opening.
slow, steady, patient.
Tyus looks like he has a lot more fights under his belt. I mean,
Yeah, he does. It kind of, his fighting tonight kind of reminds me of rolling with like a high-level grappler in jiu-jitsu. They don't do a whole lot of flashy stuff. They just slowly get the better of you.
they
You
just
know what
climb
I mean?
in,
Yeah.
climb in, and just keep, you know, it's kind of like every time you breathe, they squeeze a little harder,
Yeah.
a little harder. He looks, I mean, just very composed and like he's been there a million times. And he looks very young too. I can't see him being a day over 23,
Yeah.
but I've been wrong before.
Dillon looking to set up a triangle there.
Yeah, and he does need to be careful in his guard here.
For sure.
Dillon still can be dangerous off his back.
Look, Tyus has been winning these rounds, but not by much. I mean,
right.
Dillon's been active. He's, been dangerous. He's gotten the better of some of the wrestling scrambles. So
it has no quit in him either.
No.
It's shown excellent toughness and grit.
Tyus doing a great job dealing with those butterfly hooks. He's
Yeah.
never allowed Dillon to work him. He always passes.
And now, he kind of dropped a little elbow there too, and I wonder, kind of just keeping pressure on him in these short elbows. You don't want to posture up too much and try, it's when the guys want to posture up and rain down heavy strikes, you risk giving up a good position.
Yeah.
So he's being very conservative with it, but like I said, he's picking his shots. Wow, and that knee to the body was vicious.
Oh, why is he doing that? Did he think it was to the chin?
The ref might have.
He thought it might have been an illegal knee.
I actually had a really good angle to see that knee, and it was actually it was chest. That was completely legal from what I could see.
think they're going to retain the position, I hope.
Yeah. But I could see how from another angle how that looked like it was to the face. So let's watch the replay here.
Hard to see.
Now that angle did look more like a knee to the face. We were sitting directly behind him where they kind of created space. This might be a better angle here. This camera.
It looked all chest to me. I don't know. Gotta love fan coaches.
Yeah.
You got a crew of people coaching them from the stands.
Some of the best advice always comes from the audience, unsolicited.
Yeah. Oh, I should hit him? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Just stand up is my favorite one.
Yeah.
But, nonetheless, it kind of gave both guys a time to reset. Dillon looks like he's catching maybe a second wind here. See if he capitalizes on it, on kind of that break he got from that position.
Dillon with the funky strike, and I'm liking it.
Yeah, he's kind of going back to where he started in the opening round.
Changing angles, throwing wild uppercuts, head kicks. Fun to watch.
It's almost the consistency, It's like you see moments of it where it's working, and then it kind of falls apart when they grapple, or kind of a momentum shift you see later in the round.
Danny Molina, Dillon's coach, saying to push him back, pressure.
Kind of looked like maybe he could have tried to snatch up a guillotine there, but now he is on his back in full guard. A place that we have been seeing commonly throughout this fight.
Let's go, Dillon.
Working that mission control and a rubber guard.
Yeah,
there.
a little rubber guard.
See where this leads.
Not a whole lot of time to do anything with it.
Yeah, plus he's kind of getting stacked on the cage. It kind of would maybe shut down any kind of like omoplata or go-go plata.
Well, I think that's a cut and dry win for Tyus White. Impressive one, too.
Moves to 4-0 as a professional.
We hope. We'll see what the judges have to say.
Yeah, I guess I shouldn't prematurely say so, but I think it's safe to say that he will win that unanimously. Excellent fight for both guys, though. I mean, excellent grappling, some excellent striking display, and just overall toughness displayed by Dillon Cox, even though he might be on the losing end of this decision. So.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of professional MMA, we go to the judges' scorecard, who score the bout in a unanimous decision for the fighter out of the blue corner, Tyus, White Mamba. White!
The White Mamba does it again.
Good for him.